Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Today, we are going to take a look at Atlas. This is a Netflix original film. IMDb gave it a 5.6. I wonder why. Why, dude, why does this have a 5.6? I don't get this. I don't understand this, man. This is crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
real.
it has a
That's real.
5.6, and I think we kind of know why it has a 5.6. This is a film
Mhm.
starring Jennifer Lopez, J Lo, and I
Mhm.
mean, who did the film? Bill Patton or Peyton? He did the film. He did a lot of stuff. He did like Rampage. He did like San Andreas, which was corny. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. He's done some corny
he's
movies.
done some
I will
corny
say this
movies.
though, as far as like directing overall of this movie, it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I
Hmm.
thought the action, the CGI, all this stuff was good. I could not get over J Lo being in this movie. I think it doesn't fit.
Dude.
Like you get an action person and then you get you're cooking with grease. But you had J Lo in there, and it felt like a date movie. Like the comedy bits and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
just felt like make up your mind. Is this a scary action movie or is this like a date night movie? Like because she really looked like she was trying to date this robot. That's what was going on.
I mean,
Like,
you know what's weird is I was watching the Double Toasted review, and the guy
mhm.
said he thought it was a love story.
Yes, it
A
vibes
love
like that.
story,
There's sections of it.
you
I'm
know?
like, what the-
I'm
you're like,
like,
she's like, I need to get to know you. We got to go on
yeah.
a date first. That's what it sounded like they were talking like. It was
This,
crazy.
I think the movie, here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
J Lo, she's a triggering figure. You know, you hear her name, you see her
That's
as
fair.
she's triggering. You know, so
That's
people, there are a lot of people who just don't like her. She has this weird, you know, she has a very storied career, but you
mhm.
know, people ask, is she? I mean, can she really sing? I mean, is Ashante writing her stuff, singing her stuff? Can she really act? I mean, she's not like your regular actor where you know they went to school for it. You know, they're great at it. Yada yada yada. I think with
Yeah,
this,
she's a dancer and she's not
yeah,
acting. So
exactly.
I don't
I,
know.
I think with this film, the problem was like when they first of all, like the dialogue was just her and like Smith, like the mech suit, right? And I was just like, that
There's
was
a
like
lot of that.
45, you know,
There's
45
a
minutes, an
lot of
hour of dialogue, and then she's walking around all stiff and everything, trying to look serious. She she just did not work for this movie, even though the movie was cheesy. We've
that.
seen this type of sci-fi flick 100 times. The last time we
Yeah.
saw something like this was, check this out. Remember
Mhm.
Jung E?
Yeah.
So
With the
let
AI
me just
thing, yeah.
explain it really quickly, right? So this woman, she was a warrior, you know, a military person. She got really like hurt, and you know, basically half her body was cut off. Her mother, who was a scientist, put her
Mhm.
back together and then put her out there as this like AI robotic machine, you know, killer machine. She also pimped
Mhm.
her daughter out because all the military people were like, you know,
We're not gonna
just
get into that.
beating it up. You
We're
know
not
what I'm
gonna get
saying?
into that.
So, you know, it's sort of like that. And here's another flick, but better
Mhm.
AI. It's actually a
Mhm.
series, Three Body Problem, better AI,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think the problem with J-Lo and why so many people are bashing this flick is because one, people just don't like her. And she's like on Instagram now saying, oh, my movie is number one. It's not number one because people are watching it because of you. It's number one because sci-fi people are into sci-fi movies and they want to watch a sci-fi flick. Now, you
Yeah.
could have done without her. I mean, she was like you said, she was miscast. This whole movie was like it was. She should not
Miss
have been in it.
that.
Give
Oh my
me
god.
give me an actor. We spoke about this offline. Who would have been a great actor to do this here?
You said Rebecca Ferguson. I
Rebecca
agree.
Ferguson, dude. Come on.
That would drop bombs everywhere. That would be great.
Scarlett
The acting would
Johansson,
be
even
yes,
right?
Scarlett Johansson would have been
Yeah,
good
you
too.
know what
Like
I'm saying?
there's a bunch of people that could have pulled this off, and you got the gravitas and the acting chops, and then you could sell it.
Yeah.
But like it feels like because JLo was there, they made some of the movie silly.
Yep.
Like it was just like dumb jokes and just the cutaways. Like it was silly. It was
Yeah.
real silly and then serious at point in time. Like there's a scene for people who haven't watched it yet where they're falling out of the sky, and I was like, I'm leaning back in my bed, in my chair, watching this thing, and I get up. I'm like, oh snap! Okay, what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
So like the action was like it's decent.
Yeah.
There was some good parts to it, but like
Mm-hmm.
J Lo is so miscast. It makes everything else look silly in the movie.
Yeah.
And Simu is another miscast. He's a terrible actor. I don't know how this guy's getting into anything. He's a terrible actor. Bad.
Okay.
Awful.
Mhm.
You know where he's cast perfectly?
What?
Barbie. That was
Barbie.
fine.
Okay.
Barbie was fine.
Right.
You could be a
Okay.
Barbie.
Okay.
This thing,
Mhm.
no.
No, and speaking of Harlan, his name was Harlan. So
Mhm.
they missed a lot of stuff here. I'll give you an example. Okay, so we know that Harlan and Atlas has like a connection because her mother, created this thing, right?
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. This is what I don't understand. Like the character arc, they didn't develop that really well. The other thing
Mhm.
is, how did Harlan leave Earth and just create a base on another planet? Tell me about that planet. How did that happen? How did that happen?
Stole a spaceship? I don't know. Like these
Where did he get a
spaceships got
spaceship
jumped.
from? Did he fly up there like invincible or something? Like, see, and see, that's what I'm saying. It's just like when you have a flick like this, right? Again,
Mhm.
this is a sci-fi flick. You're gonna have a lot of messy YouTubers covering it because they don't like J Lo, and right now J Lo is getting a lot of flack on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
They
the
are
whole
beating this
nine.
thing
They are
down.
beating her
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And she flooded the market because she has a documentary, another movie on Amazon, all this sort of stuff,
Mhm.
right? And it's just like now we have this here. And she again, like I said, she was on Instagram talking, oh, thank you for making my movie number one. It's number one in like maybe 10 countries. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's not because of you, because
Mhm.
I sat down and watched it and went through it because there was some really good bones to the flick. The story was good, the writing sucked.
Yeah, the writing was awful. The premise, I think that's the best way is to
Yeah.
describe it.
Hmm.
The premise was good, and you had really good people visually working on the movie.
Yeah.
So things in it looked good as well.
Right.
And things flowed right. Like action and stuff was all good. But the script was awful. It was really bad. Like the motivation for the robot to be like, I'm gonna kill all the humans on Earth. Terrible. Awful. It's not a good premise for why he's decided I'm gonna destroy Earth.
Yeah.
Because this little kid lets you put a thing on his head. Like, stop it. Stop. That's dumb. That's the especially a robot that is part of your family and loves your family. It's like, let's kill all the humans. What?
Right.
Where'd you get that?
Mhm.
Where'd you get the leap to that from? Because they're doing destruction. Like, yo, Los Angeles looks cleaner than it does like right now. So it looks like they're doing a good job over there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
LA look clean as hell, man.
I mean, I was like, wow, this is LA. Okay. All
All
right.
right, yeah,
No
exactly. I was like, oh, okay,
mosquitoes.
it's not like Blade Runner. It looks
Yeah.
decent. All right.
Here's the other thing, right? Again, the writing was sort of stupid. A lot of people,
Writing was
there are some
awful.
people, some reviewers who are into the genre, and they were talking about,
Mhm.
did this movie feel like it was written by AI? And
Yes.
it could have been,
Yes.
and then you just like, do a little like, window dressing around the edges. AI
Yes.
is okay.
100%.
AI is not 100%. You get it and then you freak it out. You tweak it out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Here's the super weird thing. That was first of all, I told you one weird thing where he went off Earth onto another planet. How? How? Where did he get the equipment? Where did he get all this
They
stuff, right?
didn't
He,
explain any of that. They're just like, he left Earth. Okay.
exactly. Here's the other thing, right? And this is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, when we talk about great stories, excellent writing, the
Mhm.
whole nine. Okay, so there's this shield around Earth, but the
Mhm.
only way you can get to it or deactivate it is by using a code. And the code was split up and given to two people. And they send both these people to this planet to get this AI. These,
Wait,
I mean,
first,
dude, come
okay, first
on. Come
that part
on.
bothered me the most because she's not in the army. She wouldn't have this information.
Right.
She's just an analyst
Yeah,
person. She would not
exactly.
have these. Of all the people on the ship, J-Lo would not have the information that the robot's requiring. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That she would have the top secret military information of how to get play. Why were
As
you?
an
You're not
analyst.
even supposed to be
Why?
there.
You
Like,
hate
why would you
people.
have this
You hate
information? You're
people. You hate
eyeball.
AI. Why do you have the code?
Yeah, that's dumb. Why would she have this? It's silly. It's
Yeah.
silly.
It's
Like the captain would have it, and maybe the commander guy, whatever I forgot his name, the black dude, the commander guy. Maybe those two people would have it possibly,
yeah.
but it'd be the captain for sure. He would have it.
Right.
J Lo would not have it.
Yeah.
That's insane that she would have this
It's
information.
that is not even believable. It's not believable.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like, and the other thing with this film is this. I'm like going in on this film, yo. Right. The other thing is again, there was too much talking with her, you know, too much talking.
Way too
And
much dialogue.
she despised people in AI so much. She is basically a nerd, a computer geek, but she despises AI. She's an analyst, dude. I mean, come on. You know, it's just like if you did this, if you took two things would have made this movie really kind of cool, right? One, get rid of J-Lo. She's just not a great actor. There was only one movie I've seen with J-Lo that I really like, Made in Manhattan. That was a really good movie. But that was sort of her style too, and she was younger, not full of herself back then, you know?
Yeah.
So so that, get rid of J-Lo, and if you knocked out about 30 minutes of this flick, made it an hour, 30 minutes long, and just got right to it, right? Dude,
Well,
this joint would have been
this is the
crazy.
thing. I feel like this movie could have done a rewrite with somebody who knows anything about technology. Like it seems like they made a movie either with an AI script that they just knocked it off and they're like, Chat GPT, make me a movie about robots. And they were done. Or they were just extra lazy and they decided we're gonna cut corners here, because the most logical thing for this movie would have been a Blade Runner style movie where they're chasing down the robots
Yep.
instead of you being in a mech suit. The mech
Mhm.
suit makes no sense for this movie
Yeah.
because you're going against these robots the size of humans. If you had mech suit robots that you're fighting, I'd be like, oh, okay. But like you're in this mech suit fighting a robot the size of a human. You should be on the same level as far as human sized people,
Yeah.
humans.
I know what
I
you
said
mean.
human
Yep,
sized
that's
people.
true.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
true.
But humans fighting robots, and they're the same level. That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have been on another planet. It should have been on Earth somewhere.
Mhm.
Like basically Blade Runner. That's what this should have been.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think they want to copy too much. They're like, make me an AI script like Blade Runner, but not about Blade Runner, and make it off planet, and then do another thing. Because this has also happened. There's a TV show I used to watch called oh man, Above and Beyond.
Mhm.
And it had robots in it too, and it's about the same kind of premise, and they had the alien invasion. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. It was a great show, but they had this whole premise like copying Blade Runner, and so there's a problem. Blade Runner was so good, just take it. Like,
Yeah.
why are you gonna hide for it? Just
Right.
show your hand. This is what we're copying Blade Runner. Sorry,
Yeah.
and then fine.
This
Because it should be J-Lo is forced into, or whoever is forced into this, not by her hand, because she decided, put me up in space or else. Like, no. Like, you're forced into it because these guys came back to Earth looking for you. Okay, cool, fine. But like, it's better that you're not in some armor thing shooting things out of the sky. Like, that's silly. You're an analyst. Like, stop it. That's
yeah.
ridiculous. Like,
And
you want to be in the situation, but you don't want to be in the situation. And the way they put it up there was dumb. It was dumb.
it was dumb. And here's the other thing. This would have made it so much cooler. First of all, we don't know how this AI robot traveled into space and created a base on a different planet. We don't know that. However, what the premise should have been was this AI, Harlan, should have been on Earth and had all these different super duper hideouts, almost like the Citadel where they had a hideout in the mountains. Remember?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, that
just
would have been fine. That would
right,
have been fine.
have a hideout, and then he was like, what he was doing was he was destroying like really important, like monuments or buildings or something like that, the central
Sure,
bank or
play it
something
up.
like that, and
Yeah.
basically hitting and running, and then they're chasing them in this basically a computer hacking movie because that's what the AI thing is all about. It's like, how can
Yeah.
you hack into this person's system or this AI system to shut it down, right?
Mhm.
Which is why they sent up
Yeah.
Atlas. But it was dumb that, we did not know why Harlan went to another planet and he built a base on a planet. How did he get there? Where was the ship? How did he get a ship? How is he creating these other AI, operatives over and
Good
over again?
question.
It's just like
They never said how they're doing that.
right,
You make
it's
me you got body doubles of other robots. Like, how'd you do that? Like,
exactly. And
we got
someone
lots of
was,
questions.
and a lot of people were also saying that, it was too much CG. And I'm just like, dude, it's like a sci-fi movie. Of course you need CG.
I know. I'm okay with the CG. It was
Yeah.
fine. CGI was fine. But like
Yeah.
the premise, it seems like they didn't want to lean into what the movie was. It's like a Silence of the Lambs type thing, a psychological thriller of this person trying to find this guy, the robot. That's what it should have been.
Right.
All the action, all this extra stuff, it didn't fit the premise of what they're doing because like you didn't really get rid of all the robots. The robots are still there. Their bodies are still there. You can't rebuild themselves. They can't repair themselves and come back again. Like all this stuff was. I don't know. I didn't feel it. And so I feel like the movie could have done with a couple rewrites and somebody who is in the genre sci-fi stuff. I've been like, hey, what about this? What about that? Like it could have used a little bit of that. It doesn't. I don't know. It didn't work out for me.
I
I
have
thought it was fine.
yeah.
It was fine, but not
I
great.
I have the perfect Harlan for you, dude.
Mhm.
You ready for it?
Okay, go.
Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, dude, throw some kung fu in there. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you could have
You know,
gone there.
right?
Could have done
And
all that.
she's like, you're talking about prolific people, like again, Rebecca Ferguson as Atlas. She gets it. I mean,
Mhm.
she was in Dune, she was in Silo, she's all over the place, right? You know what I'm saying? She
It's
is an actor.
impossible. She's great.
This
She's a
is
good
her
actress. I
this
like
is her
her.
art, and Michelle Yeoh is just a rock star. The
Mhm.
it was again, the bones were there. If you took J-Lo out, it would have been a great cheesy sci-fi flick, really, right?
Yeah, well, it's the thing. It didn't have to be cheesy. Like make it serious. But
Right.
like the problem was J Lo is miscast, and they needed a rewrite on the script.
Yeah.
And they could have saved a couple $1 million with the rewrite
Oh my
and just
goodness.
made it more planetary on Earth and call it a day.
With a budget of $100 million, this movie had a budget of $100 million.
I think it was more than that. I think it was way more than that.
Yeah,
That seems cheap.
because it also felt like J Lo just was like, well, let me say it this way, and then let me throw a little laugh and a little joke in there. It seemed like she was saying all this sort of stuff, directing people what to say, just letting them know, no, I'm gonna do it this way. Again, she is
Mhm.
a very triggering figure. So the YouTubers that cover, reality TV and stuff like that, man,
Yeah,
they are
that's but
dragging her, right?
this is why she was miscast. Like she didn't fit the role. And then there's scenes like when her leg was broken and the robot's fixing her leg. I rolled my eyes so hard. I'm like, come on, bro. Like this is dumb.
Come on, come
This
on.
is really, really dumb.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it. And then it just I don't know. It was off. Something was
Yeah.
off about it, and it was because JLo was miscast.
It's
And I think you could solve a lot of problems with just another
right.
actor.
Now before we lock this up, before we zip it up, it
Mhm,
seems like that there could be a sequel to this. However, if
mhm,
there is a sequel, I am imagining, I am guessing, I am hoping that the
mhm.
showrunner, the director, whatever, they read the comments, they looked at the reviews and said, dude, we have to do this again, but J-Lo has to go. She's
Hope
got to
so.
go. Because J-Lo
I hope they
sucked in
do her.
this.
Yeah.
J-Lo made this film stupid and dumb. This film sucked because J-Lo was in it. Period.
I I can't disagree with that. I think you're right. I think a movie probably it could have been better with somebody else in there.
Yeah.
But like
Hmm.
it wasn't the problem was J-Lo's not believable as a rocket
Anything,
scientist,
anything,
genius, whatever. I
anything
just
today.
and
Hmm.
then you make a good chunk of this movie about J-Lo coming to grips with her AI hate and
Right.
deciding I'm gonna work
Yeah.
together with you.
Right.
Like I don't want to
Exactly.
see
Hmm.
that. It's dumb. It's
The
dumb.
the only thing I was really waiting for
Mm.
is like at the end of the movie, like the mech like putting his arms around J Lo's shoulders, and they walk, and then the both of them walking into the sunset on a fiery planet, like with
Right?
music. I'm
Holding
like,
hands, just
that's
like
how
we're in this
corny it
together.
was,
Like
and then maybe J Lo even smacking his butt. Speaking of butts, it's a J Lo movie, so you know what we're gonna get. J Lo's booty,
there's a lot
right?
of bun shots.
We
There's a
had
lot
a
of bun
lot
shots.
of booty shots, right? It's J Lo. We're getting booty shots. It's just like J Lo. You know what? J Lo, you're beautiful, right? And you are
Can't
a
disagree.
rock star. And
Mhm.
you don't have to do stuff like that. But you should also pick your movies. It seemed like she was like, "Ooh, I want to try this," or "I just want the money." So I don't get this. I don't. I'm not feeling this movie right
This
here.
this movie was a rom-com.
Yeah.
It's like it's a rom-com with robots.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
what this movie was.
You know
And
what's
then
you
they
know
threw action in there. It's like, whoa, there's some action. Why
you
is this a rom-com? It don't make no sense.
You know what's weird? I threw a prompt into AI and I was like, "What is Atlas on Netflix all about?" Blah blah blah. J Lo. And they said it's a. And the first thing they said was it's a rom com, and I'm like, "Are you sure it's a rom com?" And they were
I
like, "It's a
just
sci-fi thriller," and I'm like, the first thing that came up was it's a rom com. If you look rom com, if you
Mhm,
look at like other reviews, that's what people are saying. This feels like a
mhm.
rom com, and if
Yes, it does. It
if this
literally
if
does.
this is a
It
rom-com, this is the dumbest. This is dumber than like Ghosted, dude. Come on.
no, it's bad. It's as bad as Ghosted. J-Lo's dating her robot. I'm gonna put it like that. Basically, that's what
Damn.
happened.
They going
J-Lo
to the
hates
club together.
robots. J-Lo's dating a robot at the end of the movie. She's so happy to get back in there. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna call it a day here.
Okay, so we are talking about Atlas. This is a Netflix original film starring Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo. What are you going to rate this film?
Okay, so for the action and all this other stuff that was going on, I give it like a 7. The action's pretty good. I was shocked how good the action was. Action was
Mhm.
pretty good. Visually, it was decent. Now, the actual movie itself, the rom-com of the movie, a 4. And barely a 4. It is tight. It was real tight. It was like a 3.9. It's bad. It's the dialogue is awful. The script is awful. The acting is awful. The plot is bad. I'm saying like the things don't go together. There's things in this movie don't fit.
Yeah.
Like Dalo dating her robot doesn't fit what's going on here. The bad villain doesn't fit. The villain's awful.
Yeah.
I'm not there's not one moment in this movie where I was like, "Oh my god, I'm scared. What's going to happen to J-Lo? Is
Mhm.
this all right?" Like I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah.
I was just like, "All right, let's get this thing over with. We got to review this thing." That's basically my feeling about it. And I'm like, this shouldn't be. It's everything I love. There's space. There's there's robots. There's battles in space.
Mech suits.
There's good mech suits. They're all of the things I love. And it's just like this is ridiculous. This movie's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's my rating. A 3.99 is my
Mm.
rating.
Okay.
There you go.
So, okay, I'll do the same thing. So, the movie itself, right? As a sci-fi movie, right? And again, we've
Mhm.
seen sci-fi movies like this. I am also going to give it a 7. It wasn't a bad movie. It had really
Not
great
bad at
bones.
all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like again, listen to what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad movie. However,
Mhm.
and I gave it a 7. However, when you take the story, when you take the lead character, that just
Mhm.
like watered everything down. Jennifer Lopez is just not believable in a sci-fi AI thriller, right? I
No.
think the other thing is the AI wasn't like he wasn't like a super villain. Like imagine like Vatic from like Picard. She was a super villain, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like if you're an AI, if you want to destroy the world, there should be things blowing up. You should have access to all this stuff. You should be able to hack through the,
Yeah.
and
should have
just
the suspense and terror going on,
right,
but I didn't
exactly.
feel
It
that at
wasn't
all.
any
I
of
was like, "Oh,
that.
they
The
left Earth,
suspense
alright."
was, sending J Lo up to space, in a mech suit. It was like ridiculous, right? So, and the other thing was J Lo. She just didn't. No. We need if she was gone. If J Lo was not in this flick. If someone else was like cast, Rebecca Ferguson. I keep mentioning her. Someone else, someone like Scarlett
Anybody
Johansson.
else.
This would have been a really good movie. But because J Lo was in it, and they didn't, the movie wasn't written well at all. I'm giving it a 3. I'm giving that a 3. I'm giving,
Mhm.
because again, I'm not a J Lo fan, even though I'm from up top. But I'm just not a
I'm
J Lo.
indifferent. I mean, it's Bronx, but I'm
I'm
indifferent.
not a J Lo
It's fine.
fan, and it's just like she's just not believable to me, and nothing she did was believable in this movie, nothing at all. So, um,
Mm.
yeah, I gave it a 7. The
You
movie itself, and then all the premise and everything else, the writing and
Mhm.
everything. That I gave that a
Yeah,
3
yeah.
because
No,
they need help.
this is the problem I have with this movie. So J Lo is supposed to be this brilliant analyst, and she's super smart, and she understands She came out there with paper like, "You guys don't understand. You're all gonna die." Okay, okay, fine. So now she's in a robot, and she doesn't recognize how important it is you sync up with this robot so you can save the day. And she's like, "I don't want to do that." Like, what are you talking about? I hate movies where the lead actor does not recognize the danger they're in or the seriousness of the situation, and they're just doing their own thing because they feel like it. I hate it. Bothers me. Just no self awareness, like just oblivious to the situation.
Real dumb.
It's dumb. Yeah, like when the robots were when they massacred all the other robots. You saw bullet holes in all the other robots, and you
Yeah,
sit down and like, let's pick up this flower. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing?
Planty,
Let's
Planty,
plant the flower. Like what are we?
Planty. She named it
Dumb,
Planty. Come on,
dumb,
come on.
dumb.
Real dumb.
Rom com, rom com.
Rom com. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.